Why being debt-free is broke. You've been told your entire life that debt is the enemy. Get out of debt, stay out of debt, become debt-free and finally rest. But here's what nobody tells you. The person with zero debt who makes $40,000 a year is broker than the person with $200,000 in strategic debt making $500,000 a year. The math doesn't care about your peace of mind. This isn't permission to go reckless. This is permission to think different. Let me show you how. When you were born, your parents didn't have to pay to feed you, educate you, house you, but they borrowed against their future to give you a present. A mortgage is debt. Student loans are debt. Your existence cost them debt, and that debt, strategically used, built the infrastructure of your life. Most people see this and think debt is bad. The wealthy see this and think debt is a tool. You're being sold the first narrative because you're easier to control that way. Here's the mechanism: leverage. When you borrow $100,000 at 5% interest to invest in an asset that returns 12%, you're not losing money. You're making 7% on someone else's capital. That's the entire game. That's how every billionaire moves. They don't have $10 billion in the bank. They have $5 billion in debt against $50 billion in assets. Their net worth is real. Their safety is leverage. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. This only works if you make more than you owe. If you borrow $100,000 and your income can't service it, you don't become wealthy, you become trapped. This is why debt-free feels safe to broke people and feels slow to rich people. They're both right. You're 2024, your income is probably under $50,000. The debt-free advice is actually correct for you right now, but it's not an end state, it's a starting line. The trap isn't debt. The trap is debt without income to match it. Most people get this backwards. They chase being debt-free when they should be chasing being income-free. Income-free doesn't mean jobless. It means your assets pay your bills before you clock in. That requires leverage. That requires strategic debt. A $200,000 real estate loan on a property generating $3,000 monthly cash flow isn't a burden. It's an employee that works while you sleep. The debt payment is made by the tenant. You keep the difference. You borrowed to buy an income stream. You're not in debt, you're in business. The moment you hit $60,000 plus annual income, your relationship with debt should shift, not into recklessness, into strategy. A car loan at 3% interest while your business returns 20% means you should take the car loan. A mortgage at 4% while real estate appreciates 7 to 10% means you should borrow. The person who refuses all debt at this income level is leaving millions on the table. Here's what makes this dark. The system doesn't want you thinking this way. Debt-free messaging keeps you small, obedient, and consuming on credit cards instead of investing on leverage. You feel righteous being debt-free while the person with bad debt owns the building you pay rent to. The real wealth isn't in avoiding debt, it's in knowing which debt to own.
You watched the first video. You understand debt is a tool. Now let's talk about how to actually pick it up and use it, because knowing the concept and executing the strategy are two completely different things. Last time I told you, the wealthy don't avoid debt, they weaponize it. That the person with $200,000 in strategic debt making $500,000 a year is richer than the person with zero debt making $40,000. You either agreed with that or it made you uncomfortable. Either way, you're still here. So let's go further. Not all debt is created equal. There are three kinds: dead debt, car loans on depreciating assets, credit cards, personal loans for vacations. This debt costs you money and gives you nothing back. This is what broke people carry. Neutral debt, a mortgage on your primary home. It builds equity slowly, but you're not generating income from it. It's not killing you, but it's not working for you either. Live debt, this is the one. Debt borrowed against an asset that generates more than it costs. A rental property, a business loan, a line of credit used to buy inventory that sells at 3x margin. Live debt pays itself and then pays you. The goal is simple: eliminate dead debt, manage neutral debt, and aggressively acquire live debt. Here's the rule nobody gives you. You are not ready for live debt until your income can survive the debt payment without the asset performing. That's your safety net. If the tenant leaves, if the business slows, if the market dips, can you still make the payment? If yes, you're ready to leverage. If no, you're gambling. This is why I said in part 1, if you're under $50K a year, get debt-free first. Not because debt is evil, because you don't have the floor yet. Build the floor, then build the ceiling. Step 1, kill your dead debt. Every dollar you free up from dead debt is a dollar you can redirect into live debt. Pay off the credit cards. Dump the car payment if you can. Get clean. Step 2, build a 3-month cash reserve. Not because you're scared, because leverage without a cushion is a trap. Your reserve is what lets you hold the asset when things get uncomfortable. Step 3, identify your first live debt vehicle. For most people, that's real estate. A duplex, a small rental, you live in one unit, rent the other. Your tenant covers your mortgage. You build equity. You live for free. That's not theory. That's a strategy millions of people have used to build their first $100,000 in net worth. Step 4. Reinvest the cash flow. Don't lifestyle inflate. Take the $400 a month your tenant pays above your mortgage and stack it. In 18 months, that's a down payment on the next property. Now you have 2 assets working, then 3. The debt compounds in your favor. Stop asking, how do I get out of debt? Start asking, what debt should I be in? The bank is not your enemy. The bank is a partner that fronts you capital in exchange for interest. Your job is to deploy that capital into something that returns more than the interest rate. That's the entire game. That's it. Rich people don't work for money. They borrow money, put it to work, and collect the difference. You're not broke because you have debt. You're broke because you have the wrong debt. Shift the type, shift the strategy, shift the outcome. Part 3, we talk about credit scores, how to build borrowing power, and how to get a bank to hand you $250,000 with nothing but a plan and a track record. Stay locked in.
Banks handed out $250,000 loans today. Not to the richest person in the room, not to the person with the most followers, to the person with the best paper trail. And if nobody's taught you how to build that trail, you've been leaving money on the table every single year. We killed the dead debt. We built the reserve. We identified the first live debt vehicle. Now comes the part most people skip because it feels boring. Credit, borrowing power, the infrastructure that determines how much the bank will bet on you. This isn't boring. This is the foundation of the entire escape plan. Your credit score is not a measure of how responsible you are. It's a measure of how profitable you are to lenders. That's it. The bank doesn't care if you're a good person. They care if lending to you makes them money. A 750 credit score doesn't mean you're trustworthy. It means you're predictable. And predictable people get capital. There are 5 things that build your score. Payment history, 35%. Amounts owed, 30%. Length of credit history, 15%. Credit mix, 10%. New inquiries, 10%. Most people only focus on paying on time. That's necessary, but not sufficient. You need to be strategic across all 5. This is where the stat comes in, and I mean that literally. Layer 1. Get a secured credit card if you're starting from 0. Put 1 recurring bill on it, pay it in full every month. You're not using it to spend, you're using it to signal. You're telling the system, I am predictable. Layer 2. Keep your utilization under 10%. Not 30% like everyone says, 10%. If your limit is $10,000, never carry more than $1,000. The algorithm rewards restraint. You're not broke, you're strategic. Layer 3. Don't close old accounts. Length of history matters. That first card you got at 22, keep it open. Put a Netflix subscription on it. Let it age. Old accounts are silent credit builders working in the background while you sleep. Layer 4. Diversify the mix. A credit card alone won't get you to 780. Add an installment loan, a small personal loan, a car note, anything with fixed monthly payments. The system wants to see you can handle multiple types of debt responsibly. Give it what it wants. Layer 5. Stop applying for things randomly. Every hard inquiry drops your score temporarily. Be intentional. Apply when you're ready to use the credit, not just to see if you can get it. Here's the part nobody maps out for you. Banks don't just look at your credit score. They look at your full financial picture. Debt to income ratio, assets, cash reserves, business history if you're going the business route. Your score gets you in the door. Your profile closes the deal. So here's the actual sequence. First 6 months, get your score above 700. Pay everything on time. Drop utilization below 10%. Don't open new accounts. Just clean up the picture. Month 6 to 12. Open a business bank account if you don't have one. Run your income through it. Even if it's a side hustle, even if it's $500 a month. You're building a paper trail that shows the bank a business exists and money moves through it. Year 1 to 2. Apply for a small business credit card. Use it for business expenses only. Pay it in full. Now you have personal credit history and business credit history stacking simultaneously. Year 2. Apply for a small business line of credit, $10,000 to $25,000. Use a portion of it, pay it back, use it again. You're not borrowing because you need it. You're borrowing to prove you can handle it. This is the track record. Year 3. Now you walk into a bank or an SBA lender with a 750 plus score, 2 years of business bank statements, a business credit profile, a cash reserve, and a plan for how the $250,000 will generate a return. That's not a loan application, that's a business conversation, and business conversations get funded. The plan is what most people skip. Banks don't fund vibes, they fund projections. You need to show them where the money goes, what it buys, what it returns, and how you pay it back. A rental property with rental income projections, a business expansion with revenue history, an asset acquisition with a clear exit or cash flow model. You don't need to be a financial genius, you need to be organized and specific. Specificity signals seriousness. Seriousness gets capital.
The bank isn't gatekeeping you. The system is just running a filter. And now you know what the filter is looking for. Build the score. Stack the layers. Create the paper trail. Show up with a plan.
$250,000 isn't a dream, it's a checklist, and you just got the checklist. Part 4, we talk about what to actually do with that capital once you have it, because getting the money is step 1. Deploying it without losing it is the real game. Stay on the stack.
Most people spend their entire lives trying to get the money. They never stop to learn what to do with it. So when it finally shows up, they blow it. Not because they're stupid, because nobody ever gave them the deployment plan. This is that plan. You built the score, you stacked the layers, you walked in with a plan and the bank said yes, $250,000 is sitting in your account. And if you've never had that kind of capital before, I need you to hear this clearly. That money is not yours yet. It's borrowed. It has a clock on it. Every day you don't deploy it strategically, it's costing you interest and buying you nothing. Speed matters, but recklessness kills. So let's talk about the sequence. Never deploy borrowed capital into something that doesn't have a clear return timeline. This isn't your savings. This isn't a bonus. This is leverage. And leverage that sits idle is just debt. The moment that money hits your account, you should already know exactly where it's going. If you don't know yet, you applied too early. Go back to part 3. There are 3 proven ways to deploy $250,000 in borrowed capital and come out ahead. You pick based on your skill set, your risk tolerance, and your current income floor. Path 1, real estate. This is the most straightforward. $250,000 gives you the down payment on a $1 million to $1.25 million income-producing property depending on your market. A small apartment building, a multi-unit, a commercial space with tenants already in place. You're not buying a house to live in. You're buying a cash flow machine. The rent services the original $250,000 loan and the new mortgage. Done right, you're cash flow positive from month 1. The asset appreciates. The tenants pay down both debts. In 10 years, you've turned $250,000 in borrowed capital into $400,000 to $600,000 in equity and collected income the entire time. Path 2, business acquisition. This is the one most people sleep on. You can buy an existing business with $250,000, not start one, buy one. A laundromat, a vending route, a small e-commerce brand, a service business with existing clients and recurring revenue. You're not betting on an idea. You're buying a proven cash flow stream. The business pays back the loan. You keep the profit. You own an asset that runs without you. That's the escape plan in its purest form. Path 3, business expansion. If you already have a business generating revenue, $250,000 is rocket fuel. New equipment, a second location, inventory at scale, a marketing push that 10 times your customer acquisition. The key here is that you're not guessing. You have data. You know your cost to acquire a customer. You know your margins. You're not hoping the money works. You're multiplying something that already works. I'd be doing you dirty if I didn't say this. Do not put $250,000 into crypto with no strategy. Do not invest it all into a single stock. Do not use it to fund a lifestyle upgrade. Do not lend it to family. Do not let it sit in a checking account while you figure it out. And do not start a brand new business with 0 customers and 0 proof of concept using borrowed capital. That's not investing. That's gambling with a loan attached. The escape plan is built on calculated moves, not emotion, not hype, not pressure from people around you who suddenly have opinions about your money. Here's what this whole series has actually been building toward. You started with dead debt, you eliminated it, you built a reserve, you identified live debt vehicles, you built your credit profile and borrowing power, you got the capital, and now you deploy it into an asset that generates more than it costs. That asset produces cash flow. You use that cash flow to pay down the loan faster. Once the loan is paid, the asset is yours free and clear. Now it's pure income. You take that income and you do it again, but this time with your own money stacking alongside borrowed capital. That's the compounding effect of the escape plan. Every cycle builds the next one faster. The first deal is the hardest, the second is easier. By the third, the bank is calling you. People think the escape plan is about getting rich. It's not. It's about getting free. Free from the job that owns your time. Free from the paycheck that determines your options. Free from the system that told you debt was the enemy while using debt to build everything around you. The stack is how you build. The escape is what you're building toward. A life where your assets pay your bills before you clock in. Where your time is yours. Where the money works so you don't have to. You've got the full blueprint now. 4 parts. 1 system. No excuses. Go build.